Welcome to Bleav In 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav In 76ers is presented by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your college basketball betting this season. Get analysis of every play, prop, and point at BetOnline. You'll find the latest odds, bracket contests, team matchups, and game trends at BetOnline. Updated odds for everything from live games, the conference championships, right through the Final Four and championship game. BetOnline is your college basketball headquarters this season. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to sign up and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Be sure to use our promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, to receive your bonus. BetOnline.AG, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, the playoffs are finally here. So the last night of the playing games is tonight. In the weekend, our Sixers kick off the playoff weekend. So this is going to be very exciting tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
This time, those games come, you're excited for the week and the build up to, that first game. I've played in that first game before. So that first game is pretty intense. It can set the tone for the weekend.
You guys are lucky. You guys are both West Coasters, so you guys get to wake up at 10 a.m. and pop the games on.
At first, I didn't like that, Teja. You know what I'm saying? Like catching, especially like on football Saturday and Sunday, I was like, man.
Me too.
And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. But now I like it. Like,
I love it.
Waking up, as soon as you wake up, the games are on.
Yeah.
But with college it's different because they have games on late over here. So you almost get, well, not almost, you do get games like all day. Where the NFL, you have that, the games are ending at 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like it. At first I was a little down on it, but I'm good with it now.
I like it because if you have any plans or anything to do afterwards, you can do it. You got like some semblance of like a night after the games are over. Whereas on the East Coast, man, they're over like 11 something. You're just like countdown to Monday morning already, or Sunday you have that. I remember
you can't watch them. What they call it, Pac-12 after dark, whatever they call it on the East Coast. Yeah, you sleep.
I remember my first NFL draft I was here for, dude. I went to like a bar at it must have been like 7 or 8 in the morning or something when coverage started on that. It was so early. I was the only one in there, of course, but that was my first breakthrough, what every Sunday is going to be like. But luckily, the older you get, the earlier you get up, and then you're able to enjoy those games.
Just wake up and watch. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So obviously this episode we're going to get into the Sixers and Nets series, the full series. But obviously there's a lot of games going on, a lot of series going on this weekend. But I just wanted to ask you guys, what are the other matchups you guys are kind of looking forward to watching this series? Obviously besides our 76ers and Nets, but what's one series you're really looking forward to?
I mean, Lakers and Memphis.
Shannon Bowl.
It seems like the Lakers, no matter when they're in, especially if having LeBron or Kobe, whoever they have, that's always going to bring some enthusiasm. But I think it's just more of the Memphis and kind of where they are. They do a lot of trash talking, so it's almost like, are they going to live up to it and knock the Lakers out, or fall? You know what I'm saying? So I'm intrigued. That's probably one series outside of our series that I will definitely watch every game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of want to see the details of how it goes and how players react and respond to different situations in live time. So that's probably number one. If I had to choose another one, Cleveland, New York. I mean, I think that's really a toss-up. To see, that's out of calling all the series, that's probably the hardest one for me to call. Because I don't really know how healthy the Knicks guys are, but something in me telling me that they can win a road game and win at home. But at the same time, I also think that Cleveland can do the same thing. So
yeah,
kind of hard to call right now.
How important do you think Julius Randle's health is for that series for the Knicks?
I mean, I think it's crucial, but I also think Brunson's health is crucial. But Cleveland's had their share also. I don't really know how healthy they are. I know that the one their best perimeter defender had been out and missed some games towards the end of the year. So I mean, I have to see how the rosters come and how healthy guys are. But 5-on-5, if you're just looking at the starting fives of both teams, I think the Knicks are different with Brunson. And the Cavs are obviously different with Mitchell. So I can see it going either way. I'm still, I'm trying to learn how to bet, like, with you guys. I'm trying to learn how all that stuff goes and parlay and straight and all these other. I just learned about the props like not too long ago. Like you can bet on all this other stuff. Like, man, they got everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing I try to at least place a little $5 or $10 or $20 bet on each series, or something. And I'm that one. I'm still like, let me think about it some more.
Mm-hmm.
Every other series I've placed a little bet on who would win or whatever, how many games it'll take, like all that stuff I didn't know you could bet on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one I haven't placed anything yet.
I want to be interested in the Milwaukee and Boston series because I want them to lose, but that's just
first round.
That's just me, Yeah. I mean, I want to be interested and I want to care, but I have a feeling.
I'll watch those games, but if no other series is on, first round, it's a lot of overlapping with the games.
Yeah.
I'll watch them. I just don't know how much I want to care because I know.
Milwaukee, I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta has a better chance of beating Boston than, Marcus may disagree because he felt last time we talked that Miami could upset anybody.
Yeah, they might not even be in at this point.
And then they played the game, so I don't know if he's kind of still feel that way. But, I mean, it's the playoffs. I mean, a team can win a road game and win at home. It's possible. But the way Atlanta looked, talent wasn't the issue with them. They got some talent, and they have a guy that can win a game and win a series.
They do. They have pretty good depth, too.
Yeah. Wouldn't shock me.
If you talk yourself into like giving it,
we've actually seen Atlanta beat a team that they weren't supposed to beat.
Yeah,
yeah,
firsthand.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Other than that, I think I'd be. Yeah, you said the Memphis one. Obviously, I'm interested in that one. I'm getting more interested in the Clippers Suns.
I would have picked that if Paul George Paul George.
Yeah, I know.
Because if Paul was healthy, I'm like, man, that's a
yeah, man, that's a heavyweight battle.
I just don't think the Clippers can beat them if Paul isn't playing the whole series.
I don't think so either. But I think they'll play them tough, even in the games they lose. I think they'll be good games.
Yeah. I mean, if Paul can come back in game 3. And they're able to win 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Whole new series at that point. If he can come back and play like 25, 30 plus. Yeah.
Make it a 3-game series. I mean,
yep.
They good enough.
Remember, the Suns are just a brand new team together. They're brand spanking new.
I mean,
but yeah.
How many games? I forget. How many games has Durant he actually played with Booker and Paul? Not many, right? What, like 6 or 7?
Played just for Phoenix or all together?
With those two, because I mean, he's been pretty much hurt the entire time he's been there.
Yeah, I think he's only
I think they only lost like one game. He's only lost like one game in his last 20 games. Some crazy stat like that.
He's played 8 with them.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure how many of those all of them played because they very well, some of them might have missed other games.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I know that his last 20 games or something, he's lost one time.
Dang.
He's undefeated with them, though. They haven't lost together since he's
that's what I didn't think he lost there.
Yeah, and he hasn't lost there.
And maybe Kawhi might be the first one to put a little dent in that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll lose a game.
Definitely be guarding him.
Lose a series.
Yeah.
Last question on the other series before we get to ours. Is there a chance that if you could pick a series that you might see a sweep in, which series would you pick that gets a sweep?
Whoever the hell Milwaukee plays.
Milwaukee.
Let's say Miami wins. They've already played 2 games. That's an old team, man.
Yeah, I mean, and then the Bulls. I mean, the Milwaukee played the Bulls. Is that last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
And they beat them 4-1.
Yeah, I think they won 1.
They won 1 or something in Milwaukee, and I think they still lost in 5 or whatever.
Yeah. And that's a close travel too, Chicago to Milwaukee. I
can see that. I don't know if Milwaukee can sweep Miami though. Like, for some reason, I think the city may win them a game.
Yeah, Miami. I'm telling you.
If not picking the number 1 seed, I'll go out on a limb here and say Golden State.
Yeah.
Because I think
you think the magic ran out for the Kings?
No, I just think that with it being the other way around and Golden State going out there and being confident no matter what, if they win game 1, it could just turn that series.
They'll lose any confidence they have if they
just break them. Yeah, that would be rough, man.
So that's what I'm thinking. If they win game 1, then it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And I believe that opening line was a 1-point favorite to Golden State, and I think it's still a 1-point favorite Golden State at Sacramento. So
I'm not betting against Golden State ever.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I'm not going to do.
I placed a series bet or a bet on Golden State to win the West and the Sixers to win the East a couple weeks ago. Put like 35 on it to win 1,000. So we'll see. We'll see if that does anything.
So
you bet what? $35?
35 to win 1,000. If the Sixers win the East and the Warriors win the West.
So you put $35 on both, like a parlay or something?
Yeah, parlay, yeah.
They let you parlay with conference winners?
Oh, yeah.
Which means they got to be different, conferences, obviously.
Right? Yeah.
35. All right, I give you $5 on that.
Yeah, you like that, huh? Yeah, the hamster wheel's going.
If I give you $5 on that, you go.
Make that a 40. I will say real fast before we move on, Miami won against the Bucks, both games in Miami.
Oh.
Asterisk, Giannis did not play in either one.
Oh, I knew there was going to be a catch to that.
Hey, I keep telling y'all, the city of Miami can win you a game.
Yeah. They killed him one game, and it was close the other one, but Giannis didn't play in either one.
Did Middleton play in those games?
I don't think so either.
Okay, well,
yeah,
that doesn't even count.
Yeah.
But all right, we're getting into our Sixers and Nets series, our preview of round 1. So looking at the head-to-head, we beat them all 4 times we played this year. We beat them. 2 of the times was with the Kyrie KD Nets. We were 1-0 since the KD and Kyrie trade when we played against Bridges and Cam Johnson and those guys. And then we won the regular season finale, which Teja attended, which was pretty much a game of none of the regular rotation guys playing in that one. So really only 1 game sample size of us versus the new squad they have. So what are you guys looking for in this series? What do you guys expect to see from our guys in this series?
I mean, My number one thing, I think, is sense of urgency. Sense of urgency to take care of business every day we step out there and immediately. If you're better than the team, don't play around. Let's go out there and let's dominate. Let's do what we need to do. Win games. Try to end series early if that's what it calls. I want to see that. I want to see a team that's just coming out and they're like, man, this team, they just can't beat this team. If we say we want to win a championship and we say we've taken the next step, we're going to have to see some of that in some of these games where it's just like evident to everyone that we're a much better team.
Yeah. It's a great point. I would add keep our emotions in check because I think the Nets know that if one of their guys gets ejected, one of our guys gets ejected, it'll be a lot more important for us. If their backup center, Sharp, gets into it with Embiid and tries to tangle with them and they both get ejected, who's that going to hurt more? The Nets or the Sixers? So we have a lot more to lose when it comes to getting tangled up with players and getting your emotions in check. I think it might resemble that Nets series from what 4 years ago or so. Is that 4 years ago? The Jared Dudley, we kind of got like fought in that first round, right? It
was 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think they have a similar type team, very even scorers across the board, deep but not top heavy, but not like any stars really, or at least they have one in the making. But I'm also curious to see. It sounds like they're going to go with a very small ball. Tucker at 5 lineup when Embiid's out of the lineup. So I'm very curious to see how that goes too. So yeah.
Since you mentioned Embiid, so the other question is because we're kind of looking at the whole scope of everything in the series. Obviously, Embiid. I mean, we go through Embiid. He's going to be our lifeline. If he has a bad game, chances are we might lose those games. But if you were to kind of look at the series outside of Embiid, who's the one player you're looking at that needs to step up in the playoffs or just in the series alone for our squad?
It's obvious. It's James. But I don't think I just think he needs to play the way he's played this season. There'll be times when, yes, he needs to do a little more. The timely shots, the timely playmaking, the timely, three, the timely play, going to the attack in the basket, getting to the line. When it calls for him to take that extra step, he's going to have to do that. Joel's not in the game. Joel's in foul trouble, whatever it may be. Taking that extra step and doing those no back-to-backs. So I feel that he has to play, like I said, the way he's played all season long, and the occasional little extra burst is needed. It's going to be needed to win this series, and I think it's going to be needed to keep advancing.
Who's going to end up being the second? I think in this series, Maxey might end up being the second most important player in the series, honestly. I think Brooklyn has guys who can stay in front of James. I think can give him some fits. I don't think they have anyone that can stay in front of Maxey. I think they might try to put Dinwiddie on Harden and then try to have maybe Bridges or someone longer guard Maxey. But they switch everything. So we might just keep trying to do picks until we get the matchup we want and then roll with it. But I think looking at it just without the switching in mind, I think Maxey is one of the toughest guys to guard as far as having someone stay in front of him with that speed. I just don't think they have anyone that really can guard him.
Yeah, I thought about Maxey. I'm not sure what the Sixers are going to do in the playoffs. I had to probably see a game, see how they defend us, how they truly defend us, how they respond, and how they react.
Mm-hmm.
As Maxey is, he gets a lot of his stuff in transition and downhill. Got to see how if the game is going to slow down or not. See if that pace is going to pick up, or slow down. Like if the game slows down, like I believe it will eventually. Are we going to go through Maxey more? That's why I think it's going to come down to probably James, because I believe that the game will slow down a little bit.
I think Nets are definitely going to try to push it. I think Dinwiddie even alluded to that when he talked about it recently.
Yeah, I mean, if from their perspective, you need to push it because of our, our questionable transition defense at times during the season, and it also pushes Joel.
Yep.
I mean, you ultimately, and I'm just saying, but ultimately, the way you want to attack a guy like Joel and James is to make them work on the defensive end. One of the ways to make them work is retreating back in transition defense. So that's something that I expect them to do.
Yeah,
so I would think that the Sixers are expecting that as well.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, of all teams that we've played this year, and even that game, the one game we played against with Bridges, Cam Johnson, and their new guys and Finney Smith, they kind of controlled for much of that game. We had to come back in that fourth quarter of that game. That was.
Yeah, I feel that we should win this series, but don't mistake. Don't leave a mistake. And I do not think it's going to be easy.
Yeah,
I think that they can do some things that can give us trouble. So
that's a good team. They're just not a great team. That's all.
I think that they can do some things. I just, it's the guy from their team that I think is the key. And we'll see if that comes up in one of our fewer other questions, but we'll see.
Wink, wink.
Do you think? Because I mean, we should expect that Boston's probably going to beat Atlanta, and then we should win our series. Is this team kind of a good team to kind of get us ready for Boston? I mean, they have athletic long guys. We're gonna have to go against Tatum and Brown types. I mean,
they can from their length and their ability to go small, but not be very small. Multiple guys that can make baskets. Multiple guys that can make baskets off the dribble. A lot of shooting. Like it's a very similar team. They have a big that wants to block shots and rebounds.
Yep.
They don't have an Al Horford.
No, that's probably all. I was thinking that's
threes, but they have guys that small ball fours that can shoot threes.
Yep.
They just don't have a guy that can shoot threes and guard Joel. That's the one thing that Boston has that the Nets don't have. But yeah, I mean, I think just obviously they don't have guys that are as capable offensively as Tatum and Brown, but I think that they have a lot of guys that can do a lot of scoring, and they have some really good shooters. Like, I don't know how they're going to play all those guys, but they have some shooting. They have other guys that can shoot, that have size, that that are very versatile as far as defensively who they can defend. So if they're shooting well from the three, we could this series could stretch.
Yeah, they're closest team, I'd say, in the East to what Boston is, right? They're just very deep. They have a lot of guys that can all run. They're all very switch heavy. They're very big. So yeah, it's a good warm up before going to Boston for sure.
As long as we win, of course.
Yes.
It's only a warm up if you win.
Yeah.
Wow. We don't win. That question they asked Doc yesterday about major changes coming, that would happen.
Well, he doesn't expect any changes to happen. There should be no changes to happen.
Yeah, but he said going to the championship and losing or something, he said. So that was assuming we go far. He never said, he didn't say if we get beat in the first round, because he knows there will be changes if that happens. He didn't have to
I think it'll be changes if we lose in the second round.
Big changes, yeah.
Yes. I think so. Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about changes. The way
you asked the question.
He brought the changes. He brought the changes aspect.
Well, yeah, because you speculate on us losing. I was like, well, if we lose.
I mean, I don't want to say stuff. You know, I don't want to predict the future.
You speculating on us playing Boston, but we got to. Yeah, that's why. That's why you just stick with this series right here. We got to worry about Boston.
It could be a warm up for.
It may not be Boston, so
or it could be a warm up for the offseason. One or the other.
Yeah. So with the other question, if you all the hot take shows are talking about the Sixers player that everyone's kind of worried about the most as far as what player that you think needs a step. And we kind of talked about the second most important player. But which Sixers player are you guys worried about the most in this series? Since Harden's Achilles injury, I'm just going to throw a guy out there. Since Harden's Achilles injury, he kind of hasn't really looked the same as the guy we saw previously to that injury. Is that the player you guys are most worried about in this series? Is it James Harden? I know we say he's the second. Eric said he's the second most important player in the series, but is that the player you're also the most worried about in the series?
Well, I wouldn't. Well, it's different because I wouldn't necessarily look at it as worry about him as the player as much as I'm saying worry about his injury. So healthy, I don't worry about whether he's going to play it. So I think that's sort of a different take or a different question. If you're saying because of the injury, then you're not really worried about him. You're just worried about his health.
Right.
Worried about him in his present state.
Yes. So if we're talking being healthy and injury, yeah, of course, I think that's number one. But I think that the health factor is for everyone.
Yeah.
But James, yes, it's been affecting him lately. So hopefully that's not an issue. If I'm including health, then I would say yes, that would probably be a high concern. Gotcha. If I'm not including health, I would say PJ. And the reason why I say that is there's been a little talk about his role. But I think, especially in this particular series, and playing the teams we are quote unquote supposed to play in the next couple of rounds, he would play a vital role.
Yes.
But where's he at with this team as far as I know he's going to buy in. I know he's going to do what he's supposed to do, but is he still going to be there ready and being able to knock down those timely shots that will be needed? There will be some games when it's going to be needed. And teams are just going to wait and see. They're going to challenge him to see if he's going to make those shots. So he's going to have to do that, but still be locked into defending and getting those rebounds and playing the way he's capable of playing. So because I don't think it's a situation with PJ, I'm not saying it from a talent standpoint. I'm saying it from what's the right word?
Fit standpoint?
Not really fit, but like
role.
You almost get lost in how the game is going because it's like they're limiting ways for him to be involved. So if they're limiting ways for you to be involved, especially offensively, that can sometimes affect other parts of your game.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that can't happen because he's important doing other things outside of whether he's in the dunker or the three-point line. So because if you take that away, I think it takes something away from us that could be beneficial. We would have the benefit of Joel going out and not necessarily having to go to a big in our lineup within the lineup. If PJ's not able to give you those extra minutes, you take that away from you. So now you're playing maybe, Dedmon or Trez or
Reed.
Paul Reed. And we never know if they're going big, if they're going small. I Bleav that those guys can all play, but I Bleav it could be a disadvantage for us if we're playing against a smaller team. And I Bleav that that's what they would do if we went to one of those guys. I don't think they would go big. I think they would go small.
We're going to get so much hate because you named Reed third.
Say it again.
I said we're going to get so much hate because you named Reed third after Trez and Dedmon.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really.
I'm just kidding.
I wasn't really thinking about the order they play in. I was just thinking about the
guys behind him.
Guys, that could go in. I mean, the order really doesn't matter to me. I'm not the coach. I don't substitute these guys, so I mean, that's irrelevant to me. I'm just saying from a standpoint of one of those guys being in there. But hey, Paul Reed has played more. But would it shock you that if he didn't play as much in the playoffs?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not anymore.
So we don't know. I Bleav that the Nets is a team that will go small.
Yeah.
And is Doc going to chase that lineup, or is he going to stick with a bed? Paul Reed, Trez, or Dedmon? See, I said Reed first.
Yeah.
That matters.
I will say to the PJ Tucker, I mean, all season long, from the time we got him last year, we said it really wasn't a regular season signing. This was a signing for the postseason. So Eric's right. This is the time where why we wanted him was for the next few months. So
his points per game, even if they go up like 50%, that means it'll go from like 5 to like 7 or 8. So hey, that matters now. Yeah. I am most scared about James. It is injury related. That's how he looks lately. He's averaging 14 and 9 in his last 7 games. Shooting 37% from the field, 27% from 3. That's like Westbrook Laker numbers. I am
Westbrook. What are we talking about?
I knew it. I was just wondering if pop up.
What you talking about? Westbrook Laker numbers? Like that's what are you talking about, man? That's so irrelevant.
Oh man.
What they got to do with us?
Oh man. Tate's buying that LA media hype over there.
Yeah, man, leave that man alone. I just can't play for the Lakers anymore.
I just want to see your head pop up like an alarm went off. All right. It's looked rough. I mean, it's Achilles related, but Doc did say that both James and Joel said they're fresh. They look fresh. They look good. So I Bleav it until I see something that's not resembling that. So I hope they do look good. We'll see very fast against that defense and that lineup. I mean, they switch everything. And even Claxton, who's like their biggest guy, he can move with guards at least like part of the time. So we'll see if James can blow by people he should be able to blow by. And he'll keep switching until he gets the matchup he wants. So, but yes, it does worry me because he's looked rough lately. But hopefully, I mean, he's had good games against them. He only averaged 6.5 assists. So for him, that's pretty low. That's like what, 5, almost 5 below his average. His scoring was good against them, but his assists were low. I don't know why. So I'd say James. I know it's not fair because it's again, like you said, Eric, it's not the player. It's just the circumstance, really, because his Achilles and it's affected him, and he did look pretty rough. So I want to see how that looks. And it's not even for this; it's for this series. But when you're watching it, you're like, my mind's going to go to, oh, geez, if he looks like that now and the playoffs are crying.
It's not going to get better.
Yeah, how's he going to look in 2 weeks from now plus 5 games? That's the problem. It's like, and, we'll need him more as we get deeper. We need James to be James more so against Boston, more so against Milwaukee. So going back to your original point earlier in the episode, we need to get the hell out of here as soon as possible with sweep or maybe 5. That's my take on who I'm most worried about.
And hopefully Boston, whoever Boston plays, hopefully that, or not Boston, but Atlanta and Boston, hopefully that series goes 6-7. Hopefully that goes as long as possible. We have more time off if we do win in 5. So
we're lucky to not be traveling.
Take care of our business, and the league will start when they start. So just do your part.
I'm glad Brooklyn and Philly are close. That also works to our advantage too. Not a lot of travel time. They get them to get to the hotel, get the rest as soon as possible, so we don't have to go like states and states and states away. That's also good. If I'm doing anyone outside of James, because you also had a second guy, I'd say Tobias. He had a good game against Brooklyn. He had a really bad 1-for-9 game against Brooklyn. I want to see him re-engaged. I want to see him being himself again and just and being Tobias and just let it rip and catch and shoots.
looking at the one game where he did play the Cam Johnson Bridges team, Hart had 29 points in that game. He had 6 assists in that game, and that was the game Tobias shot 1 for 9. So maybe their length it was kind of an issue for him. I don't know.
Yeah, they have some guys that can give him trouble for sure.
Yeah. So talking about the Nets, guys, who do you guys think is the Nets' most important player in this series for them, in order for them to have a chance against us and kind of make this a series?
Ooh,
Dinwiddie.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. Okay.
Why Spencer?
I think that one, I Bleav that he feels that he can score on either one of our guards.
I think so too.
I think that if he feels that he can play equal to any of our guards, it helps their chances. If you look at when they've looked their best, he's played well. So I think he's the catalyst, because I think out of all those guys that they have and that talent that they have over there, they don't have many guys that's like him. You know, lead guard, they can play lead guard with size, attack the rim, shoot the three. A lot of, like I said, they have a lot of similar parts, but not similar to him. So I think that what he brings to the table, they need in order to have some success.
Yeah, I think he's the only guy. I mean, if they had Ben, he'd be another guy who could at least like set up an offense. But yeah, they really don't have anyone else. The closest guy to that, I mean, I don't know if they go to Patty Mills. Patty Mills played 30 minutes.
Yeah, Patty Mills isn't really setting it up. Patty's just really shooting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They don't really have anyone else like that. So if he's playing well,
Curry's not doing it. Yeah.
If he's playing well, they usually play well.
He has to go off.
But they usually play well.
He has to go off for them to to have a chance for sure. I thought you were going to say Bridges. Actually, I'm surprised by that.
No, I think they can win without Bridges. I think that if Bridges has to score 30 points for them, I think that takes away from them. I don't see them as one guy needs to score 30. I think it's some 20s, 17, 18. Like that's, to me, like when they're kind of even across the board is when they're tougher.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really lock in on one guy. Because Bridges has been scoring 30 when he scored them, but his assist wasn't high. So it's really one-on-one.
I think my vote goes for Claxton. And I think it's for both offensive and defense. I mean, offense, he's not totally an offensive player. He's more of a putback guy and like dunker. He had a really good game. He had the one game where I think he went like 11 or 12 against us. He just couldn't miss. Yeah. He shot 80% against us in the season. But I think he's so crucial because they don't really have depth at the big spot. I think Sharp's their backup 5. So outside of him, if he gets in foul trouble against Joel, they're in big trouble. And they're going to have to, I guess, go small against us or hope Sharp puts in good minutes against Joel. So I think if he's in the game, he also gives them the rim protector. He averaged 3 blocks a game against us in the season. They'll need that. And if he gets into foul trouble, they're in major trouble. So, yeah, I think Claxton is huge. I think Bridges is their overall best player, just giving that. But I think their most important player for this series for Joel. Claxton.
I think Bridges has scored the most, but I still think their all-around best player is Dinwiddie, in my opinion.
If you're going all around, though, I mean, Bridges is a superior defender, though, too, if we're going to go defense also.
Yeah, but Dinwiddie can defend, too. I just think he's a better all-around basketball player. Bridges may be playing better, but I think Bridges is just scoring more, so now people are like, oh, he can score. Everything else, he already showed he could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going pure scoring, I'd probably even go Dinwiddie because I think he can.
That's what I'm saying. But Dinwiddie's done what Bridges is doing.
Yeah.
Dinwiddie's done that also.
Bridges can guard.
He's one of those benches where he's scored like that as well. Is what I'm saying.
I've seen Bridges guard 1 to even like small 4s though, 1 to 4. Whereas Dinwiddie, you're probably relegated to like just your smaller guards on the court.
Yeah, I mean, but I get what you're saying. But just because a guy he's doing that because he's taller, that don't make him necessarily better. He's just taller.
He's long too.
Yeah, he's 6'8", 6'7" versus 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
you should be able to guard a little more, bigger guys. But that don't mean he can guard ones. I'm just saying like that versatility doesn't necessarily make you a better player. It just makes you more versatile with your size. But I think that they don't have a shot if Spencer doesn't play well. I think they can still, if everybody plays well and Bridges don't score 30, I think they can still win.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I agree with that.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and that I know small sample size, but in that one game where we played against the Bridges net squad, Bridges had 23 points. Spencer Dinwiddie at 9 points and 6 assists that game, and 6 rebounds. But yeah,
he had that 3 that was called off. Remember?
That's right. Yeah,
that was that game.
Yeah, and we only won that game by 3, and Dinwiddie had a pretty rough game. So.
Yeah, I think that was
I'm saying I think if he plays well, I mean they could win a game or two. Yeah. If he's playing really well.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting series, to say the least. Okay, so we're going to get to game 1 prediction. So right now, according to Vegas odds, we are an 8.5-point favorite at home at 1:00 on Saturday, April 15th. So who do you guys have in this one? And what's your predicted score? Do you guys think we'll cover the 8.5 points?
Well, I mean, I'm taking the money line for the Sixers.
There's your answer.
You see, I'm learning how to talk now. I say we cover. I say game 1, we pull it out in the end. I think it's a close game through most of the game, and towards the end, we'll pull it out and get a 9-point plus win.
I like it.
I think it's closer than we want it to be. I think we get into that 6-10 range for most of the game. They just don't go away. It's one of those type of games. We've had a lot of those this year. I think they give us a little scare at the end, but we hit 3 of those to make it a 2-possession game. I'm going to say 105-99, moving by 6.
105-99. Oh, okay. So let me guess. Have you placed your bets for tomorrow yet, Teja?
No.
I was gonna say, let me guess, you went alt line and you bet Brooklyn plus like 14 or something like that.
I bet that should be pretty safe.
Well, y'all got to teach me about all this stuff. You talking like something totally different. I don't know what y'all talking about.
He's talking about me buying like 5.5 points for the net.
Yeah, okay, yes, yeah. I'll leave that alone.
What else? So like, when you go to like, I mean, at least with DraftKings, there's all of them have it, but it's called alternative line. So it's pretty much you can get up to, I think with this game tomorrow, you can get the Nets up to 13.5 points, which would be minus 240 on that. And if you want to buy, and the alt line, if you want to buy points on the Sixers spread to go from 8.5 to something closer, you can get up to 3.5 on DraftKings. So you can bet up to Sixers winning by at least 3.5 tomorrow, which is what you.
Yeah,
those are pretty low alt lines, by the way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, guys, but thank you for the information.
I like that you led with the money line thing, though.
I do like.
Yeah, I do know that win loss. I can do that. I'd rather get my little small bet and then build up my stash.
Yep,
my betting stash.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the series. So I think I know who you guys are going in the series, but in how many games do you guys have this going, and how many games will it take for the Sixers to beat the Nets is what I'm going to assume. You guys have the Sixers in this one.
Sixers in 5.
No.
I was pretty close on 4-2 versus 4-1. Sixers, obviously. I'm going to go 4-1, but I think most of the games are going to be closer than we like. I will say that. I think we'll pull out some of them in double digits, but I think they'll stay in the singles for most of the game, and they'll be closer than we want. That's another good bet. I think Sixers. What did I say to you earlier, Marcus? Sixers minus 1.5 games for the series is like minus like 300 or something. So
It's not bad.
pretty good. I might take that one.
You could parlay that with your.
Oh yeah, you can.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
He
Yeah.
said, sound good. Okay.
Middle note? Yeah, you got
Somebody
it.
had to text me all that language. Parlay and parlay. This man. Yeah.
Parlay on top.
I'm gonna go look on my app and I'm gonna start looking, just pushing some buttons and see.
Yeah, you just keep screenshotting, saying over the questions. We'll just keep trying to answer.
We got you. And last thing,
All I know is I'm not going. Last time I asked Marcus for
oh boy,
a win that was a guarantee.
He was giving you, man.
Yeah, move on. Let's move on, man.
I would say I'll never bet on Rutgers again.
Yeah, let's move on, man.
Rutgers.
That was rough. Hofstra. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I didn't take it, but
Okay, you didn't. This whole time I thought you did
it.
take it. I'm glad you didn't take it.
No, I didn't take it, but I
because like, what is this? Like a minus? Like I asked for a sure thing.
Well, no, but then I followed up saying that the surest thing of this parlay is probably Rutgers. Yeah,
I heard you.
It was a rough night.
Yeah.
Okay, but this wasn't a question that we had on our that I sent you guys, but before the playoffs start, we can make our NBA Finals prediction. So,
whoa.
Yeah, so who do you guys have winning the East and winning the West?
Ooh, I don't
we
know.
got to do it now before it starts.
Can we pause this until to play a couple games in the first round before can we come back to this?
We got to do
next
it
show.
We got to do it now before we can so we can say we're right about it, projecting the playoffs.
Man, I'm going with. Is this a non-Sixer choice?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Golden State and the Sixers. If not, I'll go Golden State and the Bucks.
I'm going. I'll do a Sixer non-Sixer one too, Eric. That's a good start. I like that. I'll go Sixers Suns, and I'll go Bucks Suns.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do one. I'm just gonna do Warriors and Sixers. That's it.
Yeah, you already put money on it. Of course, you're gonna go with that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you put money.
I had at the beginning of the season. I bet 15 on Sixers and Chiefs. Sixers to win the finals and Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. My dash parlay, and they're already trying to cash me out $200 right now.
Hey, not bad.
I was 15 to win $2,000 on that. So
yeah, good luck. That's nice.
Well,
good luck.
Hopefully the Sixers win it.
Watch if and when we beat the Nets. If we beat the Nets, that's not even going to go up that much. That's the funny thing. That'll go up a good amount if we win the next round, though.
Yeah, definitely.
But this round, you get like $10 more probably on that.
Yeah, because we're too heavy of a favorite right now, so it's not even like they're not even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
now,
should.
If Hawks win some games, you might see it go up because we're like, oh, you guys against the Hawks second round. That I like.
Yeah, we've heard that story before, though.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, but. All right, everybody. Well, we hope everyone enjoys round one of or the first games of the playoffs, and we'll see you guys Tuesday because that'll be we'll be previewing game 3 the next time we see each other.
Yeah,
1 and 2 gone by that point. Do you guys anticipate us to go 2-0 this weekend in Philly?
That's the plan.
Yeah, I think we'll win the second game too. It'd be close though. Again, our close game.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right, take it easy.